listening to KFWB News Talk 980. Hello, my name is Les Brown. I'm Mrs. Mamie Brown's baby boy. I want to thank you so much for joining us today. I want you to know something. I don't know you, can't see you, but here's what I know about you based upon my own experience. You have something special. You have greatness within you. You have the ability to do more than you can ever begin to imagine, and that's what this program is all about, bringing out your greatness and engaging you in conversations about things that will affect us, that will affect our children, but most importantly, that will give us a larger vision of ourselves beyond our circumstances and mental conditioning and create some new possibilities on how we show up in life. So thank you for being with us, and I encourage you to join us in the conversations that we have daily on a variety of things. We don't talk about politics. If this is your first time tuning in, we don't talk about the problems of the world. We talk about human interest stories, and we love to hear your story around the topics that we talk about. And today, I want you to listen very closely. And this is about raising kids. You know, raising kids, it's a tough thing to do. There's no owner's manual, no instruction sheet. You just go with what you know and what you observe and see. And when it comes to raising girls, and I'm a father of girls, one of the hardest things to deal with is how to build their self-esteem. I saw this article in CNN, and it caught my attention. It was written by L.Z. Granderson, and he describes what he saw at an airport recently. He admits to seeing someone in the terminal who caught his eye. She had braided blonde hair, shiny pink lips, dangling earrings. She had low-riding sweatpants that showed what was tan and tattooed on her backside. The word juicy. However attention-getting it was that this sight had, there was also another problem. This little girl, with all the attributes, she was 8 years old. In 2007, the American Psychological Association Task Force on the Sexualization of Girls issued a report linking early sexualization with three of the most common mental health problems of girls and women: eating disorders, low self-esteem, and depression. There's nothing inherently wrong with parents wanting to appease their daughters by buying them the latest fashions. They call it getting cool points. Yeah, getting cool points today. The question becomes, is it worth the harm of dressing little girls, like some would say, looking like prostitutes, what that will cost tomorrow? So I want to ask you, how do you bring up girls with low self-esteem and instill in them that they don't have to advance themselves in terms of making themselves more attractive to guys based upon their physical attractiveness? One of my friends was talking about a niece that just shocked him. She was 10 years old, and she said, you know, in order for me to attract boys, I need to have bigger boobs. 10 years old, in order for her to get a boyfriend. So I want you to call and let's talk about, and I want to hear your story. You've raised some girls. What are the things that you have done, or what are you doing now, if you're still in the process, that you've seen most effective, or what have you observed, and how to begin to build up the self-esteem in young girls? How do you do that? What are the proper ways in which we can begin to give them a larger vision of themselves and look beyond seeing themselves as just articles to or images to be pursued on a sexual level, but building their character and building their sense of self and giving them a strong sense of identity? What are those things that you've done? And when you were coming up as a female, what did your parents do that gave you a strong sense of who you became as a woman? The number to call is 888-539-2980. As a father, what do you do? How do you see your role in doing that? And one of the things, as we know, is as we share these ideas and insights, there's some people that are struggling with that right now that can perhaps benefit from your story, benefit from your example. And so I want to hear from you. Let's get this conversation going, and I want to hear your story. How do you see bringing up girls with the proper self-esteem? What are some of the things, the step-by-step process that you would suggest that would really, really work and that will begin to build them from the inside out and not allow them to be so sucked in by the culture, so sucked in by peer pressure and wanting to fit in and be like their friends, and help them to stand on their own feet and just be who they are and operate out their own truth and the values that you instilled in them. The number to call is 539-2980. My name is Les Brown. I'm Mrs. Mamie Brown's baby boy, and I really, really want you to step into this conversation, weigh in on it, and I want to hear your story. 888-539-2980. I often say that young people, they're 40% of our population, but they're 100% of our future. And now more than ever, as we begin to look at the role that the media and the internet plays in impacting and influencing our children's minds and their peer pressure. The peer pressure, it's horrendous. And kids, when they're young, they're very vulnerable, very gullible, and they want to fit in. They want to be accepted. That's very important. And so how do we strengthen them so that they don't allow themselves to sell out to the culture, to sell out to the people around them that might lead them down a different path and give them an identity that does not really allow them to create a future where they're an asset to society rather than a liability? The number to call is 888-539-2980. That's 888-539-2980. I tell you, one of the things that as a grandfather and just dealing with my granddaughters, to say nothing about the challenges, it was much easier with my daughters. I really, because of their mothers and the role they played in building their self-esteem, it was really a very, very, I think we were very fortunate. But my granddaughters, who were raised by my sons, they found that this group today, this society today, the peer pressure is far different today. This is a whole different area where young kids are coming up in, and they're precious now, and things they have access to and things that they're exposed to that years ago we didn't have those things. It's a whole different game right now. And so we need to have some conversations about what works. How do you do this? How do you begin to handle it? And if you're not handling it well, what can be done to create an intervention to get your child back on the right track? Because, they say the fruit doesn't fall far from the tree. Well, if the fruit gets around the wrong people, it can go a long ways from the tree. A long way. It has nothing to do with the tree, has to do with peer pressure, has to do with the environment. The number to call is 888-539-2980. That's 888-539-2980. My name is Les Brown. I'm Mrs. Mamie Brown's baby boy. You have something special. You've got greatness in you. And whatever you're facing right now, understand and know greater is he that is in you than he that's in the world. You have the power to overcome it. You're listening to KFWB News Talk 980.